The dashboard is the web interface that's used to control the JackBord, and adoption is the process of getting your JackBord adopted by a personality that you created on the dashboard beforehand. Before we proceed, you need to have already connected your JackBord to your local Wi-Fi so that it has an internet connection, and your JackBord should be turned on. If you haven't already done this, go back to the JackBord website and click on the Start Here link in the upper left-hand corner. You should view the video called Connecting to your JackBord. To log into the dashboard, go to the JackBord website at www.jackbord.org and then click on the dashboard link on the upper left-hand side of the home page. From there, you'll be directed to the Google login page. This is where you'll log into your Google account that you'll use with your JackBord. If this is the first time you've logged into the dashboard, it will look like this. Now we need to add a personality for our JackBord. JackBord uses the idea of personalities and adoptions. This system allows a single JackBord to be used by many different people as if they were the only user. This is achieved by using personalities. These hold the JackBord settings and programs for a given user. If it helps, you can think of personalities like being user accounts on a Mac or a PC. Once adopted, the JackBord downloads its settings and programs from the personality. For example, a student might have a personality for home use and others for different subjects at school. You can also have project-based personalities. To create a new personality, click on the plus sign in the Create Personality pane on the dashboard. This will display the personality prompt. The personality is a JackBord ID, which is composed of two words separated by a dot. In our example, the JackBord ID, or the name of the personality, is cat.dog. Enter this at the prompt and click the Create button. Once your new personality has been created, your dashboard should look something like this. The background of the new personality is grey. This is because it hasn't adopted a JackBord yet. Before you try and adopt a JackBord, check the activity light. It should be flashing white. This means the JackBord hasn't been adopted yet and it's waiting to be adopted. If it's flashing blue, this means that the JackBord is currently adopted by someone else, most likely you. And if it's flashing green, this means it's in treehouse mode. Now that we've created the new personality, we need to use it to adopt a JackBord. But before we can do this, you're going to have to find your factory ID. This is simple as it's located on the side of the JackBord near port B. Once you have your factory ID, return to the dashboard and click on the octagon to the right of the rubbish bin on the cat dogs panel. This will bring up the factory ID prompt, and this is where you type the factory ID you got before. In our case, the factory ID is 1004. Once you've entered it, click on the Next button. As part of the adoption process, you'll need to complete a color challenge. This is done so that we can make sure that you're adopting the correct JackBord. The dashboard will generate a random set of 4 colors and send these to the JackBord. The JackBord will then show you these colors by flashing them on the activity and user LEDs at the top. When the JackBord starts flashing the light sequence, there'll always be a longer pause at the start of each cycle. In our case, we got red, yellow, red, blue. Yours will be different. On the dashboard, you'll see the color challenge prompt. From left to right, enter each of the colors that's flashed on the JackBord in the order they occur. In our case, we had red, yellow, red, blue. Don't worry if you don't get the colors on the first round, because the JackBord will keep on repeating them until it's successfully adopted. Once you've entered the colors, click on the OK button, and this will complete the adoption of the JackBord. You should now see your cat dog entry go orange. If the adoption succeeds, it will then turn green. If it fails, you'll get a message and it will remain orange. If the adoption fails and the dashboard doesn't update, go through this checklist and see if any of these conditions are what could be the cause. Check that the JackBord is turned on. If it is, you should be able to see lights on the inside. Use another computer or device to make sure that your Wi-Fi is working. Make sure that your internet connection is working. Check to see if the JackBord has been adopted by someone else. If it has, the activity light will flash blue. In this case, the other person will need to release the adoption before you can adopt the JackBord. If the activity light is flashing purple, this means that the JackBord is in treehouse mode and it's not actually connected to the internet. In this case, go and watch the video called Connecting Your JackBord to the Internet. Now that you've successfully adopted the JackBord, you can access it by clicking on the play icon. This will take you to the dashboard, which is where you'll spend most of your time while you're using the JackBord. Once you're finished using your JackBord, there are two ways in which you can end your session. The method you use will depend on the situation you're in. If you're the only user of the JackBord, then you'll use the first method. If you, however, are in a classroom and there are other students going to be using the JackBord after you, you use the second method. To use this method, click along the top above the buttons anywhere to return to the dashboard's home page. From there, click on the logout link. In this case, the JackBord remains adopted by the personality, so the next time you run the dashboard, you just need to click into your session and you can use your JackBord. All of your programs and settings will remain intact. In this scenario, someone else is going to want to be using the JackBord after you, or you might have multiple personalities and you want to adopt another personality for a different job. In this case, click out of the dashboard to return to the dashboard's home page like you did before. But instead of clicking on the logout button, the next thing we need to do is release the personality from the JackBord. To do this, click on the Adopt icon, which by now will have a cross in it. This will release the adoption, confirm, and then to leave your session, click on the Logout link. In this case, all of your programs and settings will remain with the personality. The JackBord can then be adopted by someone else and used by them. The next time you adopt the JackBord with that personality, it will be as if you never left it. If you decide that you no longer need a personality, you can delete it entirely by clicking the garbage can in its panel from the dashboard homepage. This will delete the personality along with all of the settings and programs that were part of it. So if you don't want to lose your programs that are stored in the personality, make sure that you back them up first. In the next video, called the Dashboard Part 2, we'll start using the dashboard in earnest, learn about the coding pages, the command pages, and the drive page. You can find this video along with the others by going to the JackBord website at www.jackbord.org and click on the Start Here link on the top left-hand side of the home page. Once on the Start page, select the Dashboard Part 2 video.